Financial fears taking over the U.S. after the country's second largest bank failure. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alicia Barnes.
And I'm Morgan Francis. In a matter of days, the collapse of two large banks that cater to the tech industry are triggering flashbacks to the 2008 financial crisis. Since last Friday, the U.S. seized Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, forcing government agencies to step in and take emergency measures to backstop the financial system. SVB caters to startups, while Signature is popular with the crypto industry. A rough patch for technology companies in recent months led to more customers needing more cash, contributing to the collapse. Now the government is stepping in to ease investors' worries of what's to come. Queen City News is breaking down the impact of these bank failures and what's next.
Yeah, our reporters are live around the Queen City, the second largest banking town after New York. And we begin with Chief Business Correspondent Taylor Young. Taylor, you're explaining to us tonight how the collapse is impacting Charlotte's financial sector.
Yeah, Alicia, there were concerns this morning that there would be lines of people outside of banks across the country looking to withdraw their funds. Now, that, of course, did not happen after the Fed made it clear that impacted customers would be receiving their cash in full. But one thing that we can expect moving forward is that banks across the country and here in Charlotte will be cracking down on their lending practices.
Americans can rest assured that our banking system is safe. Your deposits are safe.
A weekend full of financial uncertainty coming to a head Monday. President Biden assuring customers of two major U.S. banks that funds will be available in full.
We must get the full accounting of what happened and why those responsible can be held accountable. In my administration, no one is above the law.
While the Biden administration promises the American people the U.S. banking system remains intact, economists anticipate an inevitable ripple effect on financial institutions across the country.
What happens is when you are afraid of disintermediation as a bank, if there's that specter out there possibly, what you're going to do is to start to hoard cash.
With the closure of any bank comes the concern of mass cash withdrawal. We saw that happen 15 years ago with Wachovia Bank in Charlotte. Big companies started withdrawing their funds in fear the bank was going under. In order to prevent a government-forced acquisition, banks are expected to limit lending practices.
You're going to not be as lenient on loans, okay? Car loans, business loans. You're going to be a little bit tighter. You're going to tell all of your departments to start looking at making sure they build up their cash reserves, because you never know when a run might, some rumor starts, all of a sudden people want to get their money out.
Now, we did reach out to several Charlotte-based banks, including Truist, Bank of America, and Ally Bank. They either did not respond to our request or said that they could not comment at this time. Now reporting live in Charlotte, Taylor Young, Queen City News.
Right now, Taylor, thanks. Queen City News also spoke with lawmakers on both sides of the political aisle who are keeping politics out of it and reassuring consumers a collapse won't happen here. Queen City News anchor Derek Dellinger is live in Uptown. So, Derek, does this mean that there's a possible bipartisan solution here?
Well, I really wouldn't go that far just yet, but we did have a chance to speak with Alma Adams and Ralph Norman. One's a Democrat and other's Republican. Right now, more than anything, they just want to figure out what happened. With the collapse of one bank and then two, there are some obvious questions here that you may have that congressional representatives say they are getting and are already asking themselves. Is your money safe? And in an area like Charlotte with deep ties to banking, is your job safe? The short answer to both is yes, but the longer answer is a little more complicated.
People who were innocent in this, whether you had your money deposited in the bank, small businesses are all going to be impacted.
Congresswoman Alma Adams represents Charlotte in D.C., and she has questions of her own on the specifics of the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank.
I want to know what happened and why it happened. What did they do to cause this? Now, the president said, some folks should be fired. I agree with them.
But placing blame right now on either side of the aisle is not happening. Everything is still so new.
They didn't have liquidity, and so that caused a chain reaction for the bank. And we'll learn more as time goes on.
Congressman Ralph Norman serves the South Carolina counties just outside of Charlotte and serves on the House Financial Services Committee. He says there is a need right now to get a lot of questions answered. Some of the blame, however, is already falling on a number of rollbacks to banking regulations that happened back in 2018, something that Norman voted for and Adams voted against. Norman still defends his vote.
How you define bad decisions after the fact. And so that's kind of what we're going to be faced with. And, I don't ever look back on decisions. You make the best decision you can at the time.
Both Norman and Adams agree on one thing. They want to know what happened to keep it from happening again. And to address any fears, Adams says those in the Carolinas should not be worried.
Not be. We're pretty solid. Things are very stable, and I think we have the right people in charge. We're making the right decisions.
Now, back out here live, you might notice that we are at a bank that has long since closed. This bank closed before any of this happened. It's been closed for quite some time. One of the things that we noticed here, though, specifically at this bank, was the FDIC sticker. Basically, the country assures people up to $250,000 that their money is safe. And this is something that Adams and Norman both wanted to emphasize tonight. And there's no need, at least right now, to be making a run for the banks. Now we're live in Uptown. Derek Dollinger, Queen City News.
Derek, I just want to bring everybody up to speed, too, on the latest bank collapses. They're among the largest in U.S. history. So Washington Mutual's collapse in 2008 is still the largest bank failure ever, with assets of $307 billion. Silicon and Signature Banks come in at 2 and 3. Continental Illinois Bank and Truist Bank and First Republic Bank Corporation round out the top 5. Both banks collapsed in the 1980s.